Alright, so welcome back again. My name is Jesse, and in this wonderful and exciting tutorial, we're trying to see how to fetch data, right? So in fetching data can be in different forms and in different places. So based on where it is, you can use different tools to be able to fetch it. So the data can be in a file, can be a CSV file, a JSON file, XML file. Then it can be on a website in which you want to scrape it using request or beautiful soup. It can also be in a database. So in that case, you may make SQL queries based on the SQL engine you're using, and then it can also be behind an API, right? Being said by an API, which is a more acceptable way, and it can also be behind some data warehouse or some service somewhere else. You have to access it into the machine and get access to it. So there are several tools you can use. So you can use Pandas, you can use SQL request, beautiful soup, wget, curl, and the rest. This is in general, right? So in this wonderful tutorial, we're trying to see how to fetch finance data. So we're trying to see how to fetch data using Yahoo Finance and then Pandas data reader. So some of the data sets for finance, like in case you want to do time series analysis, can be behind an API, which is an interface for data within a server or a database, right? Some of them may require an API key, but in this case, we're using Yahoo Finance or YFinance, which doesn't require an API key. So let's see some of the tools we'll be using to help us with our task. So I'll go back again to my workspace. This is some of the libraries we can use in the Python to be able to fetch data for time series forecasting and then for financial analysis. We have YFinance, we have Yahoo Fin, we have Pandas data reader, we have Alphabetage, we have Google Finance, we have Quadel, and the rest, right? But let's see how to work with YFinance and then Pandas data reader, because these are simple. So we'll be exploring these simple tools. So a ticker is the name that you'll be using to fetch that particular data, right? So let's see how to work with this. So in case you don't have YFinance, you can just go back to your terminal, and then you can just go with pip install YFinance. Right? That is how to install it, and then Pandas data reader. So these are the two tools you'll be using in this wonderful tutorial. So that's how to install it on your system. So I'll go back again, and then let's explore it. I'm just going to make it bigger. You can see it well. Just going to import it. So I'm going to import to load the package. Going to import YFinance. So YFinance as Y, right? That is the convention. And let's explore the various things we can do with this wonderful package. So I'm just going to go back again and explore the various methods of this. So YFinance give us some various things we can do. So we have the ticker. So the ticker is a single name for a stocker. So if I go back to Yahoo Finance, right, which is this particular very nice feature from Yahoo, that is one of the nicest things that Yahoo has left us. So we can have this option here, right? So these are different trending tickets. So the ticker is the name for the symbol for that particular stock that you want to check for, right? Or that particular company, right? So we have BTC or Bitcoin. So this is the symbol, that's the ticker, and then the name, right? So these are all the various features, the last price, and then so these are the trending tickets. There are stocks, most active stocks. You can also get most active stocks here, right? All of this wonderful information. We have Nvidia, Amazon, TCL, Tesla, Twitter, and you can also move on to others, right? So there are cryptocurrencies, screeners, markets, and the rest. So Yahoo Finance is a very powerful platform that gives you a lot of features, right? A lot of things that you can work on. Okay, so that is the ticker. So the ticker is the symbol, right? Or the which is reference to the name here. So let's go back again and see how to fetch these data. So there are several ways you can fetch. You can use Pandas to fetch it straight away, but let's use Yahoo Finance for now. So we have the ticker, we have tickets. So that is multiple ticker. You can also download data, right? In case you also want to work with that. So this is some of them. So let's start from scratch. So I'm just going to go back again and let's work with historical data. So in case you want to fetch historical, the first one, just go with my data. So let's call it as we want to use Nvidia, right? So which is this one here. We have NVDA. Want to see how it is. So NVDA. Then I'm going to go back with this and just go with YFinance. The ticker, right? So that is a big understanding. So we have ticker for the bigger class, and we have that is for only one class, and then tickets for multiple class, right? That is the basic understanding behind it. So ticker, so I'm going to pass in the name of it. So I'm using NVIDIA, so NVDA, which is referring to this particular symbol name here, right? And this is what you're using, right? That's the ticker. If I run it like this, I can now get all the historical data from that. Perfect. And it's very fast, right? Very nice. So if I go back and I just go with NVDA, I get it as a ticker object. Now, how do I access all of these data, right? So to access all of these data, you can just go back and check it out. So if I explore this one, if I explore the various method of this, so these are the methods and attributes of this, I can just go with my dir NVD, because there we have several stuff, right? So we can do balance sheets, right? You can just do some analysis. You can just check the cash flow, the dividends, the earnings, the financials. You can get actions, which is the same thing as actions, which gives you the option of getting the dividends and the splits, and then several other things you can also do, right? But what we need now is that we need the historical data. So to get the historical data, this historical data, just go with my nvda.history, right? And the history goes with it without any argument, and without any argument is going to give you the date, the open, the high, the low, the close, and the volume, together with the dividend and the stock split, starting from the current date till the beginning, right? It's very, very huge. You can also specify the historical time. So there are several features there, several things you can also do here. So let's see, in case I want to, this is just random, everything, but in case I want to specify the interval, I can also come back here and just do something like this. So if I go with help, my nvda.history, you're going to see all the various parameters. We have a period, which can be in 1 month, it can be in 5 days, it can be in 3 months, it can be 6 months, 1 year. That's a period. So we have the interval, right, which can be 1 month, 2 months, 5 months, 15 months, and the rest, right? 1 hour, 1 day. This is the month, and these are the minutes, right? The M for minutes and MO is for the months. Very simple. You can also specify the start and the end, and then there are several things you can also do. Very cool. So that is something very basic about it. And this is always returning a pandas data frame. So this is always returning pandas data frame. That's a return. So if I check for the type of this, and nvda.history, it's always a pandas data frame, right? So this is it. It's a method, but it's always a pandas data frame. And since it's a pandas data frame, you can do anything you want to do with pandas on it, right? Very cool. So I can just go back again. That's history. And I can just go this option .head because it's pandas, and I'm going to get the same thing. So I'm treating it like pandas, right? Very nice. I can also plot it since it's like pandas data frame. I can also get the columns. So let's get the columns. So it's going to be my nvda.history.columns. So this is like pandas data frame. So I can actually plot it. I can also plot. So let's do some simple plots for this one. So I can plot this entire stuff. So let's plot. This nvda.history, and I can just plot it anyhow. So kind is equal to, let's give it the kind as a line chart, and then I can just go with as the figure size, and I can just plot it as this. So 2010. Now this is going to plot the entire stuff. So we're going to plot the high, open, low, close, volume, dividend, and the rest. You can also plot only one of them. So let's say I want to plot a single one. I can also do the same thing here. So I want to only plot for the close. Remember, this is like a pandas data frame. So I can plot only the close. I'm only going to get the close, right? Perfect. So this is only just a close. This is a very nice way of working with this wonderful package. You have seen how to use YFinance to fetch data, right? And it's not only just historical data, you can also fetch balance sheets as we saw earlier on. In case I want to get a balance sheet, so this is for balance sheet. I can also do the same thing, EBITDA.balance. There's also balance sheet in case I want to get it, so balance. Yeah. It's an attribute, and it's going to give me the balance sheet. So we have the intangible asset, the capital as a total liability. This is a balance sheet for NVIDIA, right? You can also do the same thing for cash flows. Where are they getting their money from? So that's cash. It's also an attribute. It's also going to give you that they have a lot of cash coming from investment, from net borrowings, and the rest, right? Perfect. You can also get quarterly data, right? In case you also want to get quarterly data financials for each quarter. So how do I do that? So I just go with NVDA.financials. It's an attribute, and I'm going to get all of them. So these are their financials from research R&D, from effective accounting charges, income before taxes. Very cool. Very nice. So these are some of the things you can do with YFinance. Of course, there are a lot of things, but I just want you to see some of the things you can do with it. Now let's see some other nice plots you can also do. We'll be incorporating some other plots that we want to do. Right? So let's say I also want to get historical data for a period, right? For a set period. So in that case, I can just go with this option. So NVDA.history. Now pass in the period there. And as we saw earlier on, the period can be in 1 day, it can be 1 month. So let's go with 7 days. The last 7 days. 7 days. And this is going to be just for the last 7 days for every day, right? And I can actually process it. Let's call it the last year. 7 months. These are the last 7 months. By just changing, you're going to get data for the last 7 months. And I can also plot this one out. Yeah, very nice. So let's plot it in a nice way. I'm going to plot this one in a nice way. So let's go to my DF. Let's plot it in a very nice way. So we're using you can also, since it's a data frame, we can use plotly to plot. So let's plot interactively using plotly. So we're just going to go with import plotly.express as PS, and now we can plot it interactively. So simply just go with PS. Let's create a figure. PS dot. Can just give it a line chart. I'm going to pass in our X, our data frame itself. Our S is going to be the date column. In this case, it's going to be mine. If I go back here and I check the date, so DF columns, you have the index. So that means that the X, the date, is going to be the index. Right. I'll go with this option. Then now I can just go with the Y. Let's give the Y to be the close. So this is going to be the close. And now I can plot this one also. Figure to show. So this is going to give us a very nice interactive plot. So it's giving us an error. So why is it giving us this error? So the error is because of the index here, right? So it's supposed to be this option. If I go back here, let's check it out. Yeah, it's supposed to be this. That's capital. And if I go back, it's going to give us a very nice interactive plot. Okay, so we have seen how to use Yahoo Finance to fetch data. We have seen how to use plotly to plot it out, and this is interactive, right? Very cool and very nice. Right? You can also make it more interactive, add some more features to it, to make it like to add tickets to it, to add scaling, and the rest to that, right? Okay, so that is something we'll be exploring later on in the future. You can also make it. You can also add a slider. So let's add a slider. Then we move on to the next feature. in this option to add a slide, just go with this. So figure dot update x-axis. Then I'm just going to pass in my range of sliders. So range slider visible. Let's set that on 2, 2. I go with this. Now we have the same plot, but now we have a slider which you can slide it like this. Very cool. And there's something very nice you can do with Plotly together with Yahoo Finance. Perfect. Now we have been able to see how to use Yahoo Finance to be able to fetch historical data. Also, let's see how to some of the features of it. So we can also do some NLP stuff. So it's going to be NLP using YFinance, right? So how do I do that? So we have my nvda.info, which is going to give you the information about it. So we have a zip. The sector is technology because NVIDIA, as you can see from here, if I click on NVIDIA, all the information coming from here, right, together with the news, you can see all of these news here, all of these news that you are getting here. You can also get it with the same API, right? So you are getting the information, the technology, the description of it, and you can also do some data analysis of this, right? Very nice. The city, the phone number, the state, the country, all of these things together with the official website. That is a very nice option. You can also get the news, right? So that is what I was talking about. So the news, so all these news you are getting from here, Nancy Pelosi stock, everything about NVIDIA. So why NVIDIA stock gets, you can get all of this information from the API. I just go with nvda.news. If I go with this, you're going to get it in this particular format. Right? So all the news there. In case you want to see it, you can copy it to pandas. So let's copy it to pandas. It's a dictionary to pandas data frame. So in that case, it's going to be the same thing. So let's put as nvda news, right? And I'm just going to go with my pd.data frame. I'll just pass in my nvda.news. Right. If I go with this one of the ways of doing it, but I can actually convert this entire stuff that we have, as you can see, is news, right? So, and it's a dictionary, so I can actually convert it straight away, right? So I need to import pandas. Now, if I run it, NVDA for NVIDIA news, you can get this as a data frame, and you can see all the news that we had, right? You are going to see, remember that there was one on new to investing, no, not this one. Let's see the other news. NVIDIA investors might be happy, all of these things, right? So let's see whether we get it. So if I go back and I just go with NVDA news dot columns, I can get the title here, and I can fetch NVDA news. Then this is going to be the title, and then now I'll just close it. Then I've gotten on news. So why NVIDIA stocks got beat by the market, medical sector leads new, all of these things is the same thing we found here. This one is here, this one is the same one here, right? Very nice. So all of them out of the box using Yahoo Finance and pandas. So that's some very cool stuff you can do with Yahoo Finance. Now let's move on to the next two, which is pandas data frame, right? Okay, so one more thing, all this thing that we have done, we could have just done the same thing here. If I go back to this place here, right, it was active, I can just copy this link, go back to here, this is fetching using pandas, and then this is going with pandas plus HTML, right, behind the scene. So case, that is what is being done behind the scene. This is one of the methods. And let's go back again to this one. So df2, and I'll just go to pd.read HTML. Hopefully it works, because sometimes it may not work. That's why we use an API. And if I run it, hopefully it's able to fetch some of them. Hopefully it doesn't fetch. Yeah, it's able to fetch. So df2, and now we have gotten our data, right? So the same thing that we get all of this information here, this table, right, is what is being fetched here, right? But this is coming as a list of a list, so I can now convert this entire stuff into data frame. So df2 pd data frame, and I can just go with this option here, and then 0 or 1, it can be any one of them. See, the reason I'm making this mistake is because of my mouse. I have to master my mouse. Instead of my mouse, my keyboard. I've changed it. Right. So now this is going to be better. Okay, so this is better, right? So this is how to clean it. So we just clean it here. So right, that's the basic understand. So you have gotten the entire stuff. So the same name, you have gotten the tickets, the actual name, the price, the change, all of these things. Some of them are any because some of them are pictures, right? So you can actually fetch pictures directly. That's how to use pandas directly, right? Using pandas read HTML, you're going to fetch it, because this is, if you check this one behind the scene, if you go to inspect, here's a table, right? It's TD. If I go back, you can see that this TR is a table. So this is a table. So since it's a table, we can actually fetch the entire stuff. That's what pandas is doing behind the scene. Okay. So you have seen how to work with Yahoo Finance. Now let's see how to work with pandas data reader. So that's going to be in the next session. See you in the next session. Stay blessed. Bye.